Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. We're doing the top 10 Steelers in 2024. So it's based off, the roster we have now, the top 10 players on our team. So I'm going to dive into the list right here that I made and stuff. So hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, leave a like, subscribe, comment who you add on the list, and also comment what you would change about the list. But we're going to dive straight into it right now. Okay, first we're going to start off with the runner-ups. The runner-ups, we got, of course, at 13, Broderick Jones, that you can see on the screen. We also have Chris Boswell, who's been a phenomenal player for us. Has been one of our better players, especially a few years ago, the past few years, those game-winning kicks have been hitting, a lot of field goals, because somehow we could not get in the end zone. And also Russell Wilson. Broderick Jones, ever since he got put in the lineup as a starter, the rushing attack has got better. He's a phenomenal player. His rookie season played good. We're going to see him get better and better every year. He entering year 2 now, so we're going to see how Broderick Jones look playing his more natural position at the left side. I think they're going to move Tanu to the right side. Then you have, of course, Zach Frazier. So we got a lot of young guys around the O-line. I think Broderick Jones is going to be moving on up the list and be putting in some big-time numbers like that for us. He did a phenomenal job in the rushing attack because he has that athletic ability to get to the next level and make things happen. Chris Boswell, like I mentioned before, all those big-time game-winning kicks. When we couldn't get in the end zone and making them kicks after kicks after kicks, keeping us in games, winning games for us is amazing. And of course, Russell Wilson, last year he played pretty good, and I think he's a good player still. I know he hit that slump a little bit with the Broncos that one year, the first year there when he had all the expectations on him, but I feel like Russell Wilson this year should go out there and show us why he is a future Hall of Famer, why he was a 10-time Pro Bowler, played in 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl, and why he's one of the best quarterbacks of this generation. So he's going to show us that a little bit with the last bit of juice he got left. So I think Russell Wilson was part of the runner-up. He didn't make the cut fully because we haven't seen him play the Steelers yet, but just based off of what he's done in his career up to this point right now, and what he did last year as well, I can put him in the number 11 right there. But let's dive into the next part, which is, of course, starting at number 10. At number 10, we have, of course, Joey Porter Jr. He was a rookie last year, played pretty good his rookie season. I was a finalist for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think he finished 4th, behind Kobe Turner, Will Anderson, and it was somebody else too he finished behind. I think it might have been Devin Witherspoon. So Joey Porter Jr. played pretty good. He only started 11 games after 17. He played 17 games, but only started 11 games, so he did a phenomenal job in guarding some of the best guys. He guarded Devontae Adams, he guarded DJ Hopkins, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins a few times as well throughout the year, and many different people like that. He went out there and played some pretty good football. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, he played some against some tough opponents, and this year he got some tough opponents coming up as well. But he had a 1 interception last year, had 10 pass deflections, 43 tackles as well. He got a little more size coming into this year as well. They say he's been lifting weights, adding more pounds on his body, and also I think he's gonna have some better hands because he could have had 3 interceptions last year. Some interceptions he kind of dropped, but I think he'd be ready this year. But rookie season, he played phenomenal. He's the man-to-man type coverage player that we needed, and now that we have another guy on the other side, and of course a solid player in Dante Jackson, former LSU, former Panther as well. Solid player. He's not the best cornerback, not the worst either, but he's like a solid in-between type of guy. He can play some man-to-man coverage here and there too. So have him on that side and bringing back, of course, Sutton, which is still controversial a little bit. Bring back Sutton back. I think the Steelers should be able to go out there and play, the man-man defense and send that blitz back in there and get back to being Pittsburgh Steelers. Sending the pressure in. You have the linebackers to be able to cover as well. But JPJ has been the first cornerback in a while. We had Joe Hayden before, of course. Joe Hayden was nice, but Joe Hayden was not drafted by us. A little later in his career, he made a Pro Bowl with us as well. But having a cornerback we drafted played as well his first year, and hopefully his next year on this season that's coming up, he plays good too and make that next jump, maybe Pro Bowl level, maybe All Pro level, and we'll see how truly good he is. But he's number 10 on the list for me. Moving on next to number 9. Number 9, we have, of course, Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren's an amazing player. Had 149 rushing attempts last year, 784 rushing yards. It was like over 5 yards per carry, playing phenomenal. 4 rushing touchdowns, had 61 catches as well, 370 receiving yards. He played pretty good football, was an explosive piece for us, that second change of pace type of back that we need in the backfield. Najee Harris is the power. He's like the guy you bring out there early in rounds and late in rounds, like a boxer. Want to be heavy hitting in the first rounds, in the early rounds, and then late in the rounds, want to make sure you try to close some things out. But having that guy who can change the pace type of style like that, like the Warren has, while Najee going out there on first downs, getting the big box loaded up looks, going through and stuff. Jaylen Warren's very good. The screen passes he caught and turning those to big gains, the little catches he caught a lot of as a receiver, and also him just getting inside runs, outside runs, with that second gear speed he has as well to hit the outside. And having both of these guys on our team at the same time has been very good so far the past 2 years. He had 1,000+ scrimmage yards last year. Najee had 1,000+ scrimmage yards as well. So that's the first time both Steelers had 2,000-yard scrimmage yards players for running backs in some years. So, and he also had George Pickens, who had 1,000 yards as well. So you kind of seen the young core get together and start playing better and better. So Dylan Warren was phenomenal. He was a phenomenal player. I think he's one of our top players. He's going to be one of our top playmakers as well, especially with Arthur Smith being the offensive coordinator, who's run first type of coach. We're going to see Jalen Warren out there getting all the handoffs. Him and Najee Harris going to be doing some crazy things. We should be seeing at least 35 to 40 carries combined with the two guys like that. You're going to go out there and just playing that old school football, just running. So, Jalen Warren is number 9 on my list. I feel like he's one of our best players entering the season, and he's going to probably be a Pro Bowl level type player this year too if he keeps it up. But let's move on next to number 8. Number 8 on the list is Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward, as you guys know, was injured throughout the season last year. He played some games. He played, I think, 12 games, I think, last year. 12 games last year, but he was injured last year a lot. He had 6 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, 32 tackles. This is not based off his last projections, of course, but it's based off of him just as a player when he's fully healthy. He's one of the best players we have on our roster. I think a future Hall of Famer. Multiple-time All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowler. Has done a lot of great things, like for the Steelers organization. Just need a Super Bowl. I'm going to be looking forward to that Super Bowl. I think Cam Hayward, if he stays healthy, he can be a big piece in the front. I know he's looking for a contract. It could be his last year. Maybe he retires, or maybe he looked to stand and play a little longer. We'll see what happens at the end of the season or throughout the season. But Cam Hayward's an amazing player. And the rushing attack, getting to the quarterback as well. And also, just being a leader in all sorts. Like that, he's one of our best players for the past few years. Been phenomenal. They still have him ranked as a top 5 D lineman as well, so he's going to be up there when he's healthy. He's one of the guys who can go up there and get you 8 to 10 sacks every year, also while being a dominant force in the rushing attack. So we should see Cam Hayward getting back to that point, especially when the Steelers are reducing his play rate a little bit, because Kendall Benton played pretty good. So having Kendall Benton can relieve some of all the snaps he's taking, and all the guys we drafted as well too, and some of the young people we have signed. And Larry Ogunjobi stay healthy, that'd be nice too for everybody in the D-line like that, because last year D-line kind of suffered a lot of injuries, and actually the front 7 in general. You look at the linebackers as well. But hopefully this year, with the more depth pieces we added and everybody being healthy, we should see even more dominating Cam Hayward. So that's why I have him on my list at number 8 as one of our top 10 players on the team. Let's move on to number 7. Number 7, we got the boy himself, George Pickens. 63 catches last year, 1,140 receiving yards, and then 5 receiving touchdowns as well. He was an amazing player last year. He showed us a lot. When you see what happens, you get more opportunity playing like that. And he played with 3 different quarterbacks as well, and still had some good numbers. He led the league in yards per reception, and then he also was in the last few games, or the last 3 games of the season, that was one of his best games. Of course, throughout the season, he was playing pretty well, but the last 3 games, the game against the Bengals, the game against the Seahawks, and the game against the Ravens, he didn't catch a pass in that game, but I like the way he was playing out there blocking, the way he was being a good leader and being a good teammate and stuff out there like that, just playing to win the game, to get to the playoffs and stuff. George Pickens has shown us a lot of maturity, of growing maturity like that as well, like getting better and controlling his emotion. Like Coach Saban said before, I remember he said on a little draft thing, he said, it's a difference between playing with emotion and playing emotional. When you play with emotion, you can go out there with passion, like that, going out there trying to win a game. But you play emotional, you get penalties, you cause your team to get hurt. George Pickens has kind of balanced that out this past season, so hopefully he stay in that direction of, hey, I'm about the team, about going out there and winning. And I think this past season showed us what he can truly be, getting more looks, and he's going to be the bona fide number 1 guy. Jesse Johnson that got traded away, of course, but Jesse Jackson and some other stuff. But George Pickens will be the bona fide number 1 guy, so we're going to see how he looks this year. I'm expecting to see at least 1,400 receiving yards, maybe close to double-digit touchdowns, 70, 80 catches like that. We should see a nice year, a Pro Bowl level year, maybe All-Pro year, depending on what happens. The AFC got a lot of great guys, though, here. You got Tyreek Hills, the Jalen Waddles, and Stephon Diggs, and all type of guys in the AFC. So we're going to see if he can make the All-Pro team. But George Pickens should go out there and dominate this year. I think he's one of our most talented players on our team, amazing playmaker. So he's number 7 on my list. Let's move on to the next one, which is number 6. Number 6, we have James Daniels. James Daniels been playing some good football. A lot of people don't really talk about the offensive lineman a lot. You know, playing like the flash. They don't do the flashiest thing. Their stats can't really be measured fully like that. You know, they might measure the pancakes they get, might measure some of the sacks allowed and stuff like that happens and stuff. But sometimes the impact, impact blocking and stuff that to be going down the field and making the higher metric stats to show that. But you look at James Daniels, he only allowed 1 sack over the past 2 seasons. Only 2 penalties last year as well, and he's been a big time piece in our rushing attack, our passing attack as well. He was meant to be a Steeler. Like, he just embodied everything about us, being tough like that, being versatile as well, and just amazing player like that. He's been going out there and just playing. He's been a stable. Like one thing that's been positive about the offensive line has been him for the past few years. So having him on our team, I know they haven't re-signed him, did the extension yet, so hopefully they get the extension done and bring him back for some more. But I feel like he's going to get to that level where he's about to be Pro Bowl type. I think he's only 25, 26 years old, still very young. He started off with the Bears. He left the Bears and on the Steelers now. He kind of meant to be a Steeler because he was at Iowa, and the colors look just like our colors, so it's kind of meant to happen. James Daniels been a nice piece for our team. Now we got a center now, Zach Frazier. We got Turfatanu on the right side. We have Brother Jones back to the left side. Yeah, I just see a Malu as well. We have a nice core of guys, and I think this offensive line will be very good. It's gonna be led by James Daniels being the best piece on our line. So yeah, he's number 6 on my list. I think he's there's been a stable. There's been a force, a stable, just somebody who kept the structure of the O-line. One of the positive spots, even though the O-line was kind of bad in the passing game, the rushing game the past few years, he's been one of the most positive spots there. So hey, I got him on my list at number 6. Number 5 on my list, I have Najee Harris. 255 rushing attempts, 1,035 rushing yards, 4 yards per carry, 8 rushing touchdowns. He had 29 catches as well, 170 receiving yards, 1,205 total yards. Najee Harris has been a dynamic piece. I feel like every year he kind of started off slow because the offensive line been bad. When he first got here, when the Big Ben was here, he caught 67, I think, passes that year right there. He had 67 catches because a lot of checkdowns and stuff was happening, but he also still rushed for 1,200 yards. But I felt like the O-line got better and better and better. And you see some of his production reduced a little bit since we have Jalen Warren now. We got to put the full load on Najee Harris. I think this coming year right here, Najee Harris is gonna have a big time year. It's gonna be close like all pro like year. Just looking at the way things are setting up, and you're seeing how we kind of got in sync last year. Brother Jones was on the way he started playing, the way he was playing last year was doing a good job. He got in the lineup as well, and seeing the way Najee Harris kind of picking up steam at the end of the year and stuff. I feel like this year that's coming, Arthur Smith being the offensive coordinator, who's a run-based guy. He had Derrick Henry over 2,000 yards and multiple big-time seasons with Derrick Henry. I ain't saying Najee Harris will get 2,000. That'd be great. But I think Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, like I mentioned earlier, Jalen Warren will have a good season too, but Najee's going to be a dynamic piece. I think he's going to be putting up maybe 1,300, 1,400 rushing yards, double-digit rushing touchdowns, and be like a dominant force for us out there. Maybe hopefully get 4.5 yards or more per carry for him as well. So I think Najee is about to cook. And I think he's one of our most talented players too as well on our team. You just put the ball in Najee Harris' hand and you see magic happen. In the passing game, he can line up as a wide out. We've seen him do before. They haven't really used him like that on the past year, but we've seen him throughout his career with the Steelers here the first 3 years. Line him up wide, line him in the slot. You can come anywhere, get the ball to him, to take down to him, toss it to him, hand it off to him. Just give him the ball and put the ball in his hand. He make things happen. The stiff arms, the hurdles, the athletic ability he has. He kind of sheds some weight too as well, so he should be faster this year too. So we're gonna see Najee Harris go out there and show him that he's meant to, and work the contract extension and work the long run as well. I know Mr. Omar Khan was talking about that. He said he want to keep Najee for a long run. They're gonna be negotiating and stuff. So I think Najee Harris is gonna give him something to negotiate about this season right here. Let's move on to next to number 4. Number 4, we have Alex Highsmith. The year before last, he hit the 14 sacks, the big time stuff right there. A lot of people said, he kind of regressed, we overpaid him, but he actually look at his numbers. He actually played pretty good. I think he might have had a better season this year, actually. More impactful plays. 7 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, 8 tackles for losses, had a touchdown as well. You look at if you watch some of the film that they might not get put on the stat sheet, you see the plays he made where he got inside and maybe let the quarterback up to get sacked or get strip sacked. He made a lot of big time plays, especially in the rushing attack as well. Alex Highsmith was playing some phenomenal football. Virginia Wild was a dynamic force, and the reason our defense was held up so long like that, even when the linebackers fell down, got injured, D linemen, and secondary getting banged up as well. But our defense held up because of those guys on the outside. And our defense only allowed, I think, 19 points per game, which is not too bad. Especially when your team is riddled with injuries and stuff. So I expect us to be only around that, maybe 16, 17 points per game only allowed this coming season right here. I thought our defense is going to be very dominant. Going to be led by one or two people, of course, TJ Watt, of course, but Alex Highsmith as well being his counterpart right there, like Batman and Superman right there. So Alex Highsmith had a nice year last year. I think we should see even more stuff from him this year as well, because he's a versatile piece. He can play in coverage a little bit on some of the flat routes and stuff that happen, like little zone coverage. And we also seen him do different things in the rushing attack and the pass rushing as well. So he's a guy. The Steelers do a phenomenal job in finding edge rushers, outside linebackers who can play different spots around the field like that to kind of keep teams guessing and stuff. But Alex Highsmith is one of our best players on our team, a top 5 player on our team, Pro Bowl level type guy. I feel like, he had to be on this list. He had to be high up. So I put him at number 4. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, number 3, we have the newly acquired Steeler, Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen's an amazing player. He was a Raven last year, Pro Bowler, second team All-Pro. He had 1 interception last year, 6 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 3.5 sacks, 9 tackle for losses, and 133 tackles. He's a guy who's going to change our defense a lot, because his ability to be versatile. You can blitz him in. You can put him in zone coverage. You can put him in man coverage. Just put him out there on the field, and he'll make some plays for you. And I think having him, of course, we drafted Peyton Wilson. We're going to see how he looks as well. I think he's going to be nice too. But having Patrick Queen on our team is going to be nice. And he said he chose the Steelers because of our culture. We love Coach Tomlin. We love our style. And probably because we beat the Ravens most of the time. We lost to him once, Mr. Trubisky, a few years ago when he played. We came in for Kenny Pickett. We got the concussion, and we lost to them then. But besides that, we've been on the Ravens. And the Ravens still our rival, the games always come down to the wire. But we've been beating the Ravens pretty good like that over the past few years. So maybe Patrick Queen got tired of losing and said, hey, let me go ahead and join on. But Patrick Queen's a nice player. I think he's one of our top players on our team. And most of the guys on this list is defense guys. Steelers spend a lot of money on defense. We have the cheapest offense and we have the highest paid defense. So of course you'll see a lot of guys on defense who are some of our top players. But I think Patrick Queen is going to be a dynamic piece. First team All-Pro maybe this year for the Steelers. And I'm looking forward to it. That's why I have him on my list at number 3. Number 2 on the list, we have Minkah Fitzpatrick. The Pro Bowler last year, even though he played, they said he played like 11 or 12 games, but he really didn't play. It was like kind of in and out. He was in and out. He played a little bit in some games, and some games he was out, some games he was in, and it's kind of like in and out. And he made a Pro Bowl, I don't know how. He made some few he had some few pass breakups here and there, pass deflections, and missed a few plays here and there. But he was in the Minkah Fitzpatrick fully because he was battling injuries the whole entire year. But when Minkah Fitzpatrick is healthy, we know what he's like. He's a 3-time first team All-Pro. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. One of the best safeties of this generation, right here on the pass. Ever since he got drafted in the league, they've been very good, very phenomenal. He's only 27 years old, still very young. He's gonna be a dynamic piece for us in the future. I think this year, having more depth and also him being healthy, we're going to see Minkah Fitzpatrick go out there and show you why he is one of the best and why he was before he got injured. Had 3 first team All-Pro selections in a row. Like that. So we're going to show you that, guys. Probably game 1, most likely. Minkah Fitzpatrick remember the last time he played the Falcons, I think had that interception. Could have had a pick 6, but he kind of slid to kind of keep everything, going in the game, right then and there, I get injured with more snaps and stuff. But Minkah Fitzpatrick going to show you guys week 1. I think he's been hungry and been fighting. Remember in the sideline last year when he was injured, he was like, you can see to fire him. I feel like he can be a coach one day too as well, because the way he talks and the way his leadership is as well. I think Minkah Fitzpatrick going to be showing them something on the first game of the season. I feel like he's been waiting for this. People kind of depend. I think the top 10 list they made with PFF and all these different top 10 lists. They didn't have Minkah Fitzpatrick listed on the list of the top 10 DBs or the top 10 safeties and stuff. He was not on the list. People kind of disregard him and say he's not that good anymore. He's washed up. Okay. I think he's taking all that in. I think in the first game of the season, he's going to show you guys why he's one of the best players. And that's why I put him on this list too, because he's one of our best players on the team. And that's why I have him at number 2 right here. And number 1, you guys already know who number 1 is. I ain't got to even say too much about number 1, but I think Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to be dynamic for us. And yeah, he's going to go out there and probably have another All-Pro year, get that 4th All-Pro selection, 5th Pro Bowl selection, and keep building that resume for Hall of Fame. And hopefully, be one day win the Super Bowl with the Steelers. So yeah, but let me move on to the last spot, which is number 1. Number 1 is of course TJ Watt. TJ Watt is an amazing player, of course. And you can look at his numbers. His numbers every time he's fully healthy. 19 sacks, 19 tackle for losses, 8 pass deflections, 4 forced fumbles, interception, and a touchdown. TJ Watt has done everything. When he's rushing you in, he's most likely to get the sack. Most of the time, getting the sack, getting a strip sack. Even when he's playing in coverage, we've seen him multiple times do that, especially against the Bengals. Jump up and get the interception, from the line of scrimmage, just timing everything perfectly. He learned, he like a resemblance of his brother. His brother and him have similar styles, but a little different. I think TJ Watt's a little quicker. off the get off of the pass rushing in, but JJ Watt is more powerful, of course, like that. But you look at the same style like JJ Watt used to do as well. He used to jump up in the air, getting the interceptions like that. In the line of scrimmage, JJ Watt kind of like got that as well too, and started using that technique as well, and just been phenomenal. One of the best players in the league. He's top 10 player in the league, maybe top 5 player in the league actually. But one of the best players. I think he's 29 years old. JJ Watt is our guy. So hopefully we can get a Super Bowl with the Steelers while he's still here and stuff like that, and we're not retiring. I know he got a few years from now for retire. Probably I think his brother retired at 32, 33. JJ Watt is 29 right now. So I can say if he stay healthy, he has some injuries he's been battling with the past few years, but he stay healthy. Maybe 35, 36. So I feel like he can play at this high level he's playing at right now. If I can play at this level for the next 4 years. So hopefully it stays good, stays right, and keep being our star player like that. So yeah, so I got JJ Watt number 1. I got Minka 2. I got Patrick Queen 3. Alex Highsmith 4. Najee Harris 5. 6. I got James Daniels. 7. I got George Pickens. 8. I got Cam Hayward. 9. I got Jalen Warren. 10. I got JPJ. And the runner-ups I mentioned before, like Russell Wilson at 11, Boswell at 12, and Broderick Jones at 13. So yeah, this is my list for the top 10 Steelers. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys agree or you disagree, or who would you add on, who would you take off the list, who would you move up or move down. Let me know all that stuff down in the comment section. But that's all I got to do. Say, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace.